Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I've done one of these solo things. It has been a while since I've done one of these solo. Um, as you can see, we're about to watch some absolute concentrated retardation here, just from the title alone. But I do want to just kind of give a few updates. The next video is going to be finishing Ruby Volume 8. I'm about, what was it? I think I'm episode 12 now. In terms of the script, it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be. I always say that about some of my other stuff, but like then again, Man of Steel and Godzilla vs Kong, I thought were gonna be much longer than that, and they're already in like 40 minutes, which I'm like the opposite of a lot of people, where I'm disappointed when it's like, oh, it's a bit too short because I'm me, and sometimes even though when I'm writing it all down and going over it, I'm like, it's one of those things. It is one of those things where it's like, oh, there are just so many more issues that I either didn't address or didn't think about when writing the script and whatnot. So there is that. I also have another thing I did with a coworker. I'm going to be uploading after this. I really do need to get it uploaded, where we discuss Dracula Untold. I will probably upload that this week. Honestly, I don't know how good. Oh, the algorithm doesn't really give a crap about me, but I'll probably upload this today, or you'll probably be seeing this tomorrow, or at least. Well, no, technically it's tomorrow. It's like midnight where I'm at, but you'll probably see this, and then tomorrow you'll see the thing. I'm gonna upload it, but I expect the volume 8 conclusion to be Jesus. I didn't know I'd have so much to say about it, because it is the worst season of Ruby. It is like some of the worst television, or quote unquote television, I think I've seen in a very long time. I wouldn't say in my life. I mean, Batwoman exists, but like Ruby is just like Batwoman is like a 3 to is like a low 3, high 2, whereas like Ruby currently is like a mid 3, maybe a 4 if we include everything. But Volume 8 is like just an edge above Batwoman, just an edge above Batwoman, like a little bit, a little bit. But we're not here to talk about Ruby. I could talk about Ruby for God knows how long. Quite honestly, if I looked into a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, you could call me an expert on Ruby, and I would at least say I'm fairly knowledgeable about the actual stuff in lore and whatnot. I might need a refresher every now and then, but I can certainly say their lore is very inconsistent. But again, speaking of inconsistent, Man of Steel, apparently it's the best Superman movie. Hold your laughter. Let us begin.
Man of Steel is the best Superman movie, and I will fight anyone who doesn't think so.
Well, you're already wrong because you had to look in terms of best Superman movie. Are we talking about in terms of like being representative of the character of Superman? This is not Superman. He's an absolute fucking sociopath that doesn't care that he genocided his entire fucking race. In terms of being a movie, in terms of quality, that this is a movie that's about Superman, and we're just looking at pure quality. It's one of the worst, if not the worst, solo Superman movie. You could probably say that the Snyder Cut is probably worse than this and BVS, but I don't know. Maybe the Injustice animated movie is worse. I don't know. I hear the Injustice animated movie is fucking awful, but in terms of like big budget live action Superman movies, this is either tied with the worst or the worst in terms of quality, and it is the absolute worst in terms of representing the actual character of Superman, because it represents him. It represents him in such a very I don't want to say depressing, because depressing isn't necessarily always a bad thing, especially if it's done right. it presents him in a very dour tone. Like, instead of being in a world that's very, grim and dark, and here comes this guy where he's like, I'm gonna make things better. I'm gonna smile when I save people, and he genuinely enjoys helping people, and he makes the world better because of his optimism and positivity and his hopeful attitude. And then you could potentially challenge that by having people kind of maybe voice that, maybe that kind of morale. I think I'm playing my hand a bit too early here, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean.
Serious. Motherfuckers think I'm playing.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
That was unexpected autism. I mean, I appreciate unexpected autism, but I don't know. I didn't think it was very funny.
In this video, I'll be discussing why I think Man of Steel is the best Superman movie and why it stands above other live-action big screen adaptations. I won't be comparing it to the animated films or the Smallville TV show. And to make this
Yeah, because you compare it to the animated films, Man of Steel gets even more curb stomped. Like, the animated stuff is just not a lot of it is garbage. But he showed a picture from like the New 52 universe. The death of Superman in that universe. Now, granted, that universe is not very good. A lot of the movies are just kind of mid to really bad, like Apocalypse War, and like mid ones being like the Wonder Woman movie. I can't really remember. Some of the Batman ones were okay, but the death of Superman is really good. It's really good, like really good. I love the death of Superman movie. It perfectly captures, like even if you go into it without watching the other ones, they very much they emphasize just how important Superman is. Like, and it probably is better if you watch all the previous films, because like it is kind of a culmination. It's basically Batman v Superman done correctly, or no, Batman, but you know what I mean. The death of Superman arc done correctly, or maybe not correctly, but much better than what Snyder did. Also, I am drinking mostly freshly squeezed freshly squeezed juice from Granny Smith apples and oranges, and I put a bit of pineapple juice in there myself. I didn't juice the pineapples because, fuck cutting up pineapples. Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff. The issue is that you spend a lot of money for all this fruit and you get like a couple glasses out of it at most. Oh well.
clear from the get-go, I am very biased and I love this movie, so I'm going to be talking about all the things that I love about it and what I think it does right. And of course...
I mean, I'm very biased against it because I despise it with every fiber of my being. But it's also objectively terrible. So I guess fair enough.
Of course, you are more than welcome to have an opposite opinion. That's completely fine. Now, with all...
You mean the right one? Justice League is better than Snyder Cut. Oh, wow. I messed that one up. I really did. I failed. But Justice League is better than the Snyder Cut. Fucking fight me on that one. You keep using the image of the jelly lip. Yeah, the jelly lip is cringe, but it's not as cringe as the dialogue in the Snyder Cut. At the very least, Superman acts like Superman. I will take what I can get. And it's also really funny in how bad it is.
All that out of the way, let's get the Suckfest going.
Oh.
Let's get the obvious out of the way. This is the best looking Superman we've had on screen. When it comes...
I mean, the CGI can look really bad sometimes, though. It can look really bad.
Comes to the scale of the fights, the flying, the special effects, it looks great. But of course...
Some of the stuff looks really good. Some of the stuff looks really rubbery and dumb. I won't say it all looks terrible, but please mention the penis ships. Please, you gotta mention the penis ships. You have to mention the penis ships. Come on.
I expected to. It came out over 2 decades after the Christopher Reeve movies and 7 years after Superman Returns.
Yeah, so basically, this is what you should expect. This should be the standard, and like giving it props for doing like what is expected is not very healthy. I mean, that's like saying, "Oh, good job, Timmy. You cleaned your room. You know, the thing on your chore list that you're supposed to do every week. Let's give you a reward for it." It's like, It's like, no, like give him a reward for, like, you know, exceeding. Like, let's say he cleans his room, but he also does extra things, and you go, oh, you do some extra things. Now you get a reward for that because you actually went beyond what is expected. But basically, Man of Steel's like special effects is what should be expected by this point. It's made in 2013. I don't know. I think I really do think, unless the visuals are truly amazing, we should stop like awarding any significant praise to things that just look good, because that's basically like flexing how much of a budget it has. It's like saying, oh, this turd is really shiny and golden, but it's still a turd.
Technology has advanced a lot since then, so it should be a given. But I felt like I should at least acknowledge it. And so I can say that Superman action has never looked so damn good. This is
His suit should have been a bit more colorful, but that's...
probably the closest we'll get to a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie. Fun fact.
Why would you want a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie? Dragon Ball is one of those things that can really only work in animation.
Did you know that when studios were looking for a director for Dragon Ball Evolution, they approached Zack Snyder to see if he was interested?
Oh wow, we probably wouldn't have gotten the hilarious meme fest of Dragon Ball Evolution and gotten something incredibly depressing and dour where Goku has to make a decision to save Chi-Chi or let Master Roshi die, and then he has the power to bring back the Saiyan race, and Vegeta's like, if you destroy this ship, you destroy Vegeta, and then he goes, Vegeta had its chance, and he Kamehamehas everybody and just genocides this fucking race. So basically making him no better than Frieza or some other such nonsense. And then in the third movie, right? Like, I'm trying to think of something that would be think of something that would be the Martha Manhunter equivalent of a Zack Snyder live action Dragon Ball Z. You know what? Fuck it. Make it. I'm curious now. Make it. I want to see just how shit it will be.
I think any director could have saved that movie. It's like he read the script and was like, direct your Dragon Ball movie? Nah, no thanks. I'll make my own.
Yeah, and it was still shit.
A good place to start will be where the movie starts. Krypton.
Yeah, it's really Tizzy. Also, it has some very, very, very cool lines that are completely contradicted later on. It's not the worst part of the movie. I will say that. Thank you for showing this scene of a weird dragon thing crashing. I don't know what point you were trying to make. Shit, I paused him right when he was going to make it. I apologize.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, it was for a retarded joke. I mean, my jokes are retarded, but they're funny retarded because I'm funny retarded.
I like that we spent a decent amount of time on it. This shows us the world that Kal-El is being sent away from.
His name's Clark. His name is Clark. It's like calling Goku Kakarot when it's like, no, his name's Goku. It's very much like, it kind of is that same thing, because to my understanding, Superman, like other Kryptonians or other aliens, right, he'll let them call him Kal-El, but if like the Batman comes and says, hey, Kal-El, and then he go, Bruce, my name's Clark, why are you calling me Kal-El? You okay? Right? It'd be like if Krillin goes up, hey, Kakarot, and then he goes, Kakarot, my name's Goku. He lets the other Saiyans call him Kakarot as kind of like a whole, like, well, it's my Saiyan name and you're a Saiyan. It's kind of like that thing, a formality.
It really helps add to the fact that he's alien, but it also gives us a glimpse into the way the planet was run. With the
Yeah. Yeah. And the way it was run doesn't make sense. Why would you stop space exploration when your home planet is dying? That doesn't make any sense. 100,000 years and you managed to somehow do worse than a bunch of naked apes on a planet, on our planet. In 100,000 years, we've colonized every single continent except Antarctica, in 100,000 years, this advanced alien race established God knows how many planets. Apparently, none of them were self-sufficient, self-sustaining at all. They either all died or they were all recalled or what have you. It does not make sense. And then when the planet was dying and running out of resources, they were like, okay, we're just going to stop now. Why? And then like we're going to issue artificial population control. You have an entire galactic empire, essentially, right? You colonize so many planets. Why do you need artificial overpopulation for the home planet? Maybe it's like, what if one of these planets has become self-sustaining and they want independence? They're like, no, we're not leaving. No, we want our own. Like, not a single planet decided to become its own independent thing, and thus Zod could go there. No, all of them either died or went back to the home planet so they could all die. Because the world building is nonsense.
Who are in control, and how even though the world is ending, they aren't going to change their traditions because they're so stuck in their ways.
Makes them sound stupid when you put it like that.
Failing to listen to reason. Also, I think this world just looks way more interesting than the ice-covered Krypton we've seen.
I don't know. The ice covered Krypton was really cool. A lot more visually interesting than the like gray, bland, and gray, and just the color, just such little color. Like they established Krypton's beauty. They established Krypton's beauty, and it's so dull. It's like there's this like a gray smudge and smear or whatever. It like zaps all the color out, and it's like I can't appreciate the beauty when it all looks so dull and drab. Where here is at least an ice planet, and even then they have some beautiful set design.
Richard Donner Superman films. We get to see the wildlife, the advanced technology. It's some cool shit. Some people.
It's also really lame, if I'm being honest. Oh, we got some cool wildlife. Yeah, that's cool. And there's this dragon thing, and I guess that's neat, but I know this is all things. Oh, well, I like this, I like that, which is fine. I just want to get into like the arguments because of the title.
Complain about this.
Shouldn't you open up with your best arguments and save like the small stuff for like last? Shouldn't you really do that? Wouldn't you want to start with your best foot forward and go, these are the arguments as to why Man of Steel is the best Superman movie, instead of going, oh, I'm just going to go over these little tiny things. Start with your best arguments and then kind of work in the tiny things either throughout or near the end.
Segment being too long, but I think it's just the right length. Besides this,
I wouldn't call it too long. I would just call it kind of boring. And then Jor-El, like, I know he gets to like an assist, but he manages to fight off a whole bunch of highly trained soldiers, and then later on manages to fight fucking Zod, where it's like they're not really clear on what position aside from just being a scientist, which even they do imply he's a scientist, where it's like they give the scientist armor. It doesn't really make much sense.
showing us the world Superman comes from and the inside of Jor-El. It sets up the villain and a key item for the plot. Later on in the
Yeah, the villain who is fucking retarded.
movie, Jor-El tells Clark about Krypton, and I think being able to see a glimpse of it makes it more interesting than just hearing about it. Originally,
You're just gonna gloss over the broken world building. That's okay. I already went over it.
this open was closer to 40 minutes long, but was trimmed down to 20. I think
40 minutes? Zach, 40 minutes? Oh, thank God you cut it in half. If only you could have done that for your Justice, for fucking Justice League.
he does a good job of setting everything in motion.
You, how though? How? Explain.
Probably the biggest reason why I love this interpretation of Superman is because we
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
get to see much more of Clark Kent. We see his
No, we don't see anything of Clark Kent. We see this strange robot that like has in the beginning a few Clark Kent Superman-esque qualities, like going out of his way to save people. right? And then later on in the movie, like for a good chunk of it, he's just very boring and devoid. He doesn't really talk too much, and he's just he's a plank of wood. And then and then in the church scene, he shows that he's a sociopath that doesn't think that that is unsure if the people of Earth are worth saving. And then he goes back to being kind of a plank of wood. Then he goes back to being a sociopath when he is very, 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 seems very happy that Zod is in immense pain. Then he commits genocide. So there's that. Oh, and he doesn't care. Oh, actually, you know what? He'll probably get to that part later on. But he commits genocide. Yeah, not accidentally. He does it on purpose. Watch my Man of Steel video for that.
Human side. Usually the story goes, Clark finds out about his planet and gets some words of wisdom from his father, grabs a suit, and then he goes out and starts being Superman. But this movie is more of a story about Clark finding himself. Here we...
No, it's not. Oh, then there's this scene. I forgot about this scene where he crucifies a man's truck and no one hears it. And it's like he's an asshole. He throws things at you and he pours beer over your head. So you ruin his livelihood and prevent him from putting food on his table and paying the bills. What? That's legitimate. That's something that a crazy person does.
We see a Clark Kent who knows he's different and struggles with his place in the world. Yes.
No, not really. It's not. I mean, like we see I guess we see a little bit of it, but he's so boring. And now people say, "Oh, Superman's always boring." I'm like, I disagree. Depends on who's writing him. But Superman is gonna be witty and clever and wholesome and all these really cool things, because he's more than just a power set, right? He's more than just a power set. Part of me wants to make a video about using the same arguments for Superman for Goku, because you can use a lot of these same arguments for Goku, right? Because they're not things that, I mean, I don't like Goku. He's one of my least favorite Dragon Ball characters, primarily because Super made him absolutely retarded, but that's an entirely different thing altogether.
So many questions and no answers, so he starts looking. After Clark gets his suit and talks to Jor-El, he doesn't immediately start being a superhero. He still remains relatively hidden, not ready to reveal himself to the world.
Yeah, because that is true. But why is that? Well, actually, no, he's explaining this stuff.
Big theme here is freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice? Are you fucking kidding me? That's not true at all. That's not true at all. No. That's not freedom of... There's no freedom of choice. Where it's like, they set it up, where it's like, oh, well, you have this theme of freedom of choice, and like, yeah, freedom of choice, where Jor-El's like, he can forge his own destiny, and then like, later on, he's like, we sent you to Earth because we wanted to let you know, because we wanted you to know what it meant to be human first, so you can be the bridge between two peoples. It's like, no, you wanted him to go forge his own destiny. It's a choice. You will inspire them. It's a choice. You will do this. You will do that. Where is the theme of choice when it's very clear? Like Jor-El and some of the stuff that Jonathan says to him, right? You are the answer to whether... Well, that's not entirely true, but mainly Jor-El like contradicts himself from like the beginning of the movie, and like telling, we wanted you to know what it meant to be human first, so that you could be the bridge between two peoples and give them hope and inspire them. And it's like, no, that's not what you said at all. Why are you like this, Dave? David S. Goyer? David Goyer, why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Was sent away from a world where there was no freedom of choice, and every Kryptonian was genetically bred to fill a pre-assigned role in society.
Yeah, for fucking dumbass reasons.
Mother and I believe Krypton had lost something precious. The element of choice.
Which is why he contradicts himself later on and says that we wanted you to be the bridge between two peoples, as in implying they didn't want him to have a choice in what he did. What if he didn't want to be the bridge? What if he wanted to, like I said in the review, open up a chain of pet supply stores? No. Jor-El, you want him to be the bridge between two peoples. You said it yourself. You sent him to Earth so he could know what it meant to be human first, so he could be the bridge between two peoples and inspire them and give them hope. But it's totally a choice, right? It's totally a choice. He's raw, like he's like scolded for making the choice to save a bunch of kids from drowning to death. He's scolded for making that choice. The freedom to choose. I choose to risk my identity to save people. And his adopted father, not his adopted father, I apologize. His father tells him, maybe you should have let the children die. And then he stops him from saving his life from the tornado. Clark wanted to save him, but he was listening to his dad because he trusted him, and he let him die because this movie is retarded.
Chance. What if a child dreamed of becoming something other than what society had intended for him or her?
Okay. Okay, I kind of agree with that, and then you contradict yourself later on.
What if a child aspired to something greater?
What if the child didn't want to aspire to be something greater? What if the child wanted to just live in the woods in a cabin, start a family, maybe have a garden out back, have some kids, live off the land, off the grid, away from people? What if the child wanted to do that? What if he didn't want to aspire to be greater? What if he wanted to just to blend in and be normal? Because that's because saying what if a child wanted to be greater, it's like kind of implying that it's the illusion of a choice.
Kal-El being the first natural
His name's Clark.
birth in centuries. That's why his father didn't come with him when the planet was going to blow up, and that's
Yeah, because his mom and dad are fucking stupid. It's so dumb. The reason is so dumb. You could have just said we didn't have time. We didn't have time. It was all we could do. This was all we could do within the time we were allowed. We didn't want it. It would have been so simple. It would have been so much better if he said we didn't have the time. But no, it's like, no, we had to die with our planet instead of be with our son and help him understand his heritage and understand his powers, because Jor-El knows what's going to happen to him when he goes to Earth. He'll get superpowers, right? He knows what will happen to them because he says he'll be a god to them, right? He knows he's going to be stronger than them because of the Earth's atmosphere and the sun. Wouldn't it be very apt if you went with him, or at least his mom? No, they wanted to stay behind and die because they were a product of Krypton's failure. It's not. It's the failure of a select few who run the planet who are fucking dumb. It's not your fault, Jor-El. You're stupid.
why he didn't want everyone to evacuate the planet, because they are all products of Krypton's flawed society. And
no, it's not. No, like, you're showing the scene where, oh, what did you say? Krypton only has a matter of weeks, and it's like, what do you want? Like go to the stars like our ancestors did. He is suggesting that we should evacuate as many people as possible. He even said, like, give me the Codex, or no, trap them all in the Phantom Zone. No, was it in the Phantom Zone? No, that was the animated series. In the animated series, Brainiac tricked, Brainiac misled everybody. Brainiac lied to the council, right? And made Jor-El look like a fool. Jor-El was right, so he had to send his son away because of Brainiac's deception. There wasn't enough time, right? Like, he literally says, let's go to the stars like our ancestors did, turn to the stars like our ancestors did, implying that he wants to evacuate, or at the very least escape with the Codex so Krypton can live again somewhere else. Oh my god.
Doomed to repeat it.
Are you seriously suggesting that we evacuate the entire planet?
No. Everybody here is already dead.
Yeah, and then he says, turn to the stars like our ancestors did. But he goes, oh, everybody here is already dead. If anything, that implies there's just not enough time to evacuate everybody. But then he does say, give me the Codex and, like, I'll go, or something like that. If I'm remembering it correctly.
Your mother, Lara, and I were a product of the failures of our world as much as...
Yeah, and that the logic's retarded. It doesn't make sense. Okay, but you weren't a failure, Jor-El. Lara wasn't a failure either. Like, Zod was, I guess. The Council were. Like, why is it your fault? You specifically. Why are you collectivizing all of your entire race for the dumbass actions of a select few? It's not your fault your planet died due to retarded bureaucracy and the absolutely brain-dead choices of the people running your planet. That it's so dumb.
On Earth, Papa Kent kept Clark's abilities hidden from the world because he knew how people would react by potentially fearing and rejecting him. And he didn't
Maybe let the children die.
want his son to go through that until he was ready. It's Clark.
Maybe let the children die. Bring it up. I fucking dare you. Do it, coward.
Clark's choice. He was so protective of his son,
Hold on. Fucking.
rejecting him, and he didn't want his son to go through that until he was ready. It's Clark's choice.
It's Clark's choice, but he was constantly hammering into his head, you can't do this, don't do that, stop making yourself a secret, not until you're ready, right? It's Clark's choice, but no, it's really not. Because Jonathan Kent is fucking stupid in this.
So protective of his son's secret that he gave his life to keep it. Both fathers.
If it's... Yeah, and it's really stupid. Clark listened to him. He very clearly was going to, like, if he did the whole stop, right? Kind of implying that he was maybe aware Clark was going to try and save him. If you wanted to do the whole theme of freedom to choose, Clark should have saved Jonathan. Clark should have said, "Screw my identity. You're my dad. I love you." Especially after the really dumb, not dumb, but the really horrible thing that he said to him, right? You're not my dad, right? And he very clearly regretted after saying it because they had a fight. That's going to be the last meaningful interaction you have with your father, and you have the power to save him. If the theme is about freedom to choose, wouldn't you think Clark choosing to say, I don't care if these people know what I can do or who I am, you're my dad and I choose you? I don't know. It's almost like the themes in this movie don't make sense.
Fathers gave their lives to ensure their son's future. Another example of Clark's inner struggle is when he tells Lois Lane that maybe he doesn't want his story told and to reveal himself to the world. But Lois makes a good point and says that the only way he can remain hidden is that he needs to stop helping people, which is something that he can't do. And
that is so funny. That's hilarious. That is hilarious because not the scene after, but like maybe in like a little bit after that, he contemplates and asks himself, he doesn't know if the people of Earth can be trusted. He has to be convinced to save the planet. He has to be convinced to save his home. Because Clark is a terrible person in this movie. Like, let me rephrase that. He's a terrible person in like the last half to a quarter of this movie. He's a fucking shitty person.
In the beginning of the movie, he saves crew members from an exploding oil rig. When the school bus full of his classmates is sinking, he pushes it out. And towards
Yep. And that's all contradicted because that retarded church scene. Because we needed to have baby's first symbolism.
the end, he has a choice between surrendering to Zod or to remain hidden. And in all these cases, he has a chance to save people, so he takes it. Even when he's...
Bring up the fact that he literally says that he doesn't know that if the people of Earth can be trusted. Bring up the fact that he essentially had to be convinced to save his home. You're not going to bring it up, are you? Do it, coward. Fucking do it.
in the middle of fighting Zod's followers, he goes out of his way to save who he can. Clark has to choose to start...
He saves one... I mean, he at least saves somebody. I'll give him that. In that scene. But he brings the danger to the town. He doesn't give a shit about the collateral damage at all.
Becoming Superman, but he isn't perfect. He makes mistakes.
Okay, there's making mistakes, and then there's just being blatantly negligent. A mistake would be like if during the final battle, like when that building was falling, right? He goes down and he's like trying to save a whole bunch of people, right? He's trying to save a whole bunch of people on the ground. However, while he's trying to save all these people, like an entire building just collapses in on itself because Zod has like destroyed it, right? It collapses in on itself. Whereas he tried to save all these people, but he had this entire building, and you make it clear there's more people in the building. So by trying to save all these people on the ground, which he essentially made the mistake of not trying to neutralize the immediate threat. Do you really want to emphasize that, where more people have died now, even though he did save a couple, right? If you really want to illustrate him making mistakes. Because it's literally blatant negligence. He does not care. He's causing so much collateral damage. He doesn't like the truck. He literally like moves out of the way and it crashes into a building and explodes. And he looks behind him. And I remember some retard on Facebook says, "Oh, if he catches it, then it's movie's dead over." Right? Zod snaps his neck. Why didn't Zod snap his neck? When Clark looked over his shoulder, looked at the explosion like a fucking toad, going, "Oh my god, it blew up." Zod just fucking speed punches him. Fucking hell.
This whole movie is a learning experience for him.
What does he learn? He learns that maybe you should let the children die. That's what he learns.
He's not this all-knowing beacon of hope right off the bat. A few
he never becomes it at all.
examples. In the beginning, he destroys this guy's truck instead of kicking his ass at the bar. He could...
Are you gonna justify him? Are you going to justify him ruining someone's livelihood for being an asshole?
easily beat this guy, but decides not to. But he does destroy the guy's truck. I've heard people say that this is a good example of how bad the Superman is because...
Yeah, it's psychotic.
He ruined this guy's property.
Yes, he ruined his livelihood. That's psychotic. Okay, imagine you are an asshole to somebody like that guy. And what they do is they commit identity fraud, steal all the money in your bank. They do everything in their power, like, to make sure you can never work anywhere again, that you cannot make money at all. That would be psychotic, wouldn't it? That'd be obsessive. Instead of going, this guy is an asshole, he's a dick, I'm going to let management take care of him or something. I'm going to inform them he's no longer welcome here. Like a sane, rational person, his first fucking thought is, I'm going to ruin this man's whole career. Clark is psychotic in this movie. And this isn't even like the first instance.
I see this as a great example of how flawed and human the Superman is.
That's not. No, being flawed and human is not. I guess you could say being a psychopath is a human tendency. But like, it makes him out to be a terrible person. He's a fucking terrible person. It really does. It's psychotic, right?
He gets angry. He makes mistakes.
Okay, so yes, he gets angry. Fine, he makes mistakes. Fine. Crucifying a truck, which, by the way, again, you're not going to bring up how nobody fucking heard any of that. Ruining someone's livelihood is that's more than making a mistake. That's demonstrating that you have that you need therapy. You need to go on some medication. You have anger issues because you are just an absolute psychopath. Absolute psychopath.
You think this is a dick move? That's because it was. Another
It's more than just a dick move. It's psychotic.
example is when Zod threatens his mother and he flies over and starts smashing through buildings and destroying them. Really?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, someone attacks your mom, you're gonna be very angry. But he's never. But it's never really mentioned. He doesn't show any regret for bringing the fight to Smallville. Never regrets any of it. Never regrets a single minute of it. He doesn't go, oh crap, I let my anger blind me, and now there's all this damage and people are injured and hurt. That's not in the movie. You're making so either A, you are interpreting things that are not there, or the intent is there, it's just executed horribly. Regardless, it's dumb.
Really cool scene, but this also shows Clark getting protective of his mother and losing.
What son in their right mind would not be protective of their mother if their mother obviously wasn't a terrible person, and Martha Kent is not a terrible person? But what son with a normal mom, normal loving caring mom, what son would not be protective over their mom? That's like a base level human thing. There's nothing that's nothing to applaud. That's nothing to like say, oh, this is really good writing. No, it should be common sense. It should just be basic common sense.
Control. It wasn't the smartest move considering the damage, but this shows Clark isn't.
Yeah, but it's never hinted at that he let his anger fucking blind him, and now people are either injured and like there's lots of collateral damage. He just, after the action scene's over, he just fucks off.
Fully in control of his emotions yet. He also.
So he's very emotionally unstable. That when he's not a plank of wood, that is true.
Wasn't the most skilled fighter either. When he's
that's fine.
fighting, he's basically getting his ass handed to him by these Kryptonians who are genetically bred to be warriors. He has.
It doesn't. Oh no, they have the power armor, although it's never really hinted at because, like, again, when I had first watched it, I thought like the transparent face things, like they were absorbing the sunlight through there, right? And that's how they were getting the super strength, but apparently it's their suits. That's never hinted at, mentioned, or explained in the movie, so it's kind of confusing. And like I said in my review, a sufficient powering up sound would have been enough. Like they're putting on the suit and you just hear like this powering up sound. You're like, oh, this is a power suit, right? There you go. But all they said was they found weapons and armor, and they never specify what the armor, like they never specify that it's power armor, just that it's armor.
Hasn't had the experience yet to flawlessly take on these type of opponents. All things considered, I think he did all right. This is why.
He could have showed that he cared a little more about the collateral damage. A little more cared at all. He was causing any kind of collateral damage.
I mean when I say this movie is a learning experience for him.
He doesn't learn fucking anything.
Very green and new to all this and trying his best.
He still remains the same detached fucking sociopath he is in the next two movies of this dismal, disgusting universe.
I would like to mention that he does learn from this experience and it carries over to BVS.
funny.
he finds out Lex Luthor has his mother, he gets angry but gets himself under control. I think
Because Lex is telling him, if you kill me, your mother dies. If Lex did not say that, Superman would have killed Lex instantly. Because this Superman is a fucking psycho.
he handled it better than how he was punching Zod's face. When fighting
Yeah, because Zod wasn't literally telling him, by the way, kill me and your mom dies.
Doomsday, he takes him up into space to clear the city. It didn't work like with Zod, but at least he tried right away. Snyder's
I guess that's a fair point. And then the military fucked it up. And they didn't try it again. So, yeah, the Doomsday fight is fucking retarded, but I guess. I guess that point's fair.
said that he had a 5-movie arc plan for Superman in each.
And I'm very happy we didn't get it. Because the 3 that we got were garbage.
movie, he would start becoming more and more like the Superman we know. Okay, now.
But why would it... Okay, so... I understand adaptation. But, like, taking 5 arcs to go from unhinged sociopath to optimist. Optimistic, happy Superman that loves saving people, that is a beacon, that is a legit beacon of hope because he cares. What is getting Superman to care? Maybe I need to rewatch BVS, and I will. Remember, folks, sideways for attention, long way for results.
I want to start talking about the antagonist for a minute because
He is so retarded.
Michael Shannon owns this role.
But I can't. Yeah, he I feel bad. Well, I mean, when he's not autistically reeing or sounding like he has peanut butter in his mouth, he does fine.
I can't say Michael Shannon owned the role, you know.
He didn't. He has peanut butter in mouth and autistic shrieking, and that's it.
He owned this role.
He tried his best. He really did try with the shit material he was given.
Shannon has always been an overlooked actor who consistently brings very solid performances, and his portrayal of Zod is no different. He brings intensity to a scene. He is both menacing and intriguing. He's a villain who wholeheartedly believes in what he's doing, mainly because he's genetically bred to not only master his senses and become a warrior, but to
Yeah, I've been bred to master and hone my senses, even though, like, I don't know what level of training you had that would allow you to do that. Because it's obvious if you're going to invade another world, you'd have like a life support system on your suit, so you wouldn't like be exposed to the atmospherics of an alien world, right? So, it just, like, he literally gets bombarded with sensory overload, and he almost passes out the first time. And then in literal seconds, he just does what Clark needed to do in like years. And if that's the case, why not breed the Kryptonians to instantly adapt to Earth's atmosphere instead of making it an uninhabitable wasteland with absolutely no resources at all? You're ruining a planet, a perfectly good planet that makes you super beings. Makes no sense.
act for the good of Krypton, which in this case is killing Superman, taking the Codex DNA from his body, and creating a new Krypton by completely wiping out life on Earth. Now, as
Yeah, it's really retarded.
crazy all that sounds, you completely understand his motivation and why.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, he's stupid. I understand that. He is really, really dumb, and no one bothers to, like, bring it up. Like, why are we doing this here? Why can't we go to this planet or that planet or one of the planets that's already been colonized with the world engine and whatnot, unless the world engine needs to constantly run or some other bullshit, right? They don't explain that they have, like, cattle embryos and, like, cultivars on the planet, right? Like for crops, right? They don't bother to go, oh, we have plenty of embryos to grow for cattle, and we have plenty of stuff like cultivars for crops, and we have all this ready for taking, right? So you're like, oh, okay, so they have all the stuff ready. So fair enough. But they don't do that. What you're doing is you're killing off all of the food on the planet. What are you going to eat? Like, what are you going to, what is it? Let me be more specific. What is your new Kryptonian planet going to eat? Because I don't think you have enough food on that ship for an entire, like, race, right? If they would have just, I mean, you would have thought with Zack and his horrendously written dialogue and how much exposition is in his movies, or at least in his DCEU stuff, he would explain important things, right? Like that. But he doesn't. Or actually, you know, let me take that back. That he doesn't tell Goyer to write it.
Why he's doing it. Clearly, committing mass genocide is bad, but
yeah, it is bad, isn't it? It's very bad. Villainous, one would say.
he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as just fulfilling his role, doing what he was created to do. But while
yeah, and he ensures Krypton's he ensures its permanent extinction.
about Zod and his followers is that they are the exact opposite of Superman. Clark was a
Not really. Not really at all. They're all just kind of terrible people.
natural birth. He has freedom of choice.
No, he doesn't. He has the freedom of choice. It's just that throughout his entire life, he was never given the opportunity early. Not through his entire life, but through all of the interactions he's had with the authority figures in his life, or in the parental figures in his life, he was never really given any kind of choice.
Unsure of a lot of things. While Zod and his followers are products of Krypton's flawed society, they were born for one purpose and are dead set on accomplishing it. And
yeah, because they're really dumb.
to help drive home these differences, Fiora said,
"You are weak."
Oh my god, this fucking cringe. This absolute cringe-tacular dialogue. It makes you cringe so hard that it creates a gravity well on your face and a micro black hole that is now your head, and it sucks in all the joy from around you, and all that remains is cringe. No base to be found on this planet. No epic giga chads, only cringe soy boys.
Novel, unsure of yourself.
Thank you for telling us these things instead of showing us these things, Zack, Dave. Thank you very much.
The fact that you possess a sense of morality, and we do not.
Oh, this epic cringe.
Gives us an evolutionary advantage.
That's just factually wrong because, like I said, morality is a product of evolution. Why do you think we have it? Why do you think wolves have it? Like, any social species has some form, some kind of morality, depending on the cognizance, obviously. Like, I mean, like, how do you think we got morality? Morality is a product of evolution. And obviously having a strong sense of morality is a huge evolutionary advantage, or I wouldn't be talking to you through this technology that we have right now. It's very clear morality is a huge evolutionary advantage because, and I get it, right? They're supposed to be wrong. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb, and it doesn't make sense because they too have morality. Like, what's her lady person here, like, cried when Krypton died. Zod has a sense of morality. He regrets killing Jor-El, and it haunts him to this very day, right? He does everything because he wants Krypton to live again. He very much has a sense of morality. That doesn't make sense, right? And evolution always wins. I mean, what are we talking about? In what context? Are we talking about evolution in terms of explanations of biodiversity? It's probably going to, because it's the best one we have. We're talking about an evolutionary race. Well, that all depends on the various environmental factors. Point is, Hollywood writers, understand what evolution is before you write about it, please. Just please, in current year, just Google search it. Just do a Google search. Look in your dictionary. On a side note, it's sad that Dominion is the first Jurassic Park movie that has feathered dinosaurs. And the Utah Raptor swims like a fucking penguin. Can Azathoth wake up, please?
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how badass she is?
No. No, I won't. She's really dumb. Granted, she is part of the best payoff in the movie. She is part of that. So I know I'll let it slide. She's part of the best payoff in the movie. Cringe music. Actual cringe. Play Lady of the Night. Or Night Witches. Anything by Sabaton is more based than this cringe. Because Sabaton is based and awesome. God, that fucking...
The end of the final battle when Superman breaks Zod's neck is a powerful scene. It's more...
Yeah, it's also really dumb because it not because Superman killed people, even though on a personal level, I don't like it when Superman kills. It defeats the point of his character. However, if you're gonna do it right. It's not doing it right. Like, the family had multiple opportunities to. There's multiple ways you could have written. So you could have, like, there are multiple ways that Superman did not have to. Like, if you're gonna write the trolley problem, then you need to write it correctly, because there's lots of ways you could have justified this. The family can like Zod's not like literally just have Clark cover Zod's eyes and like choke him out or something, and like write it so like, oh, we sealed them off in this one part of the Kryptonian ship, because it still functions and works. Like, you seal them off and you set it to Kryptonian atmospherics, right? Or probably would have been, honestly, instead of killing him, what you have is you actually have them have a conversation. You have them have an actual clash of ideals, right? Through words. Obviously, after a fight, maybe not talk no jutsu levels, but what you do is, like, you have Superman granted, this requires a rewriting of the entire movie, where Zod is a lot more intelligent, reasonable and rational than he actually is, because he's a fucking retard in the movie. But what he does is essentially convinces Zod to stand down, that he will see Krypton live again, right? It will live again, but not on Earth, and he'll do everything in his power to do it. This is also assuming Clark does not genocide the Kryptonian race, right? The scout ship is still intact, and you can use the scout ship as a prison facility, set it to Kryptonian atmospherics, keep Zod there, right? So he doesn't have his powers. Something like that, right? It's not perfect. Like, you would need to rewrite like the entire movie, but like, you're a monster, Zod, and I'm gonna stop you. What a waste of Henry Cavill. What an absolute waste of Henry Cavill. Somebody who looks the part, who can act the part, who looks great in the suit, and who's an actual fan of Superman. Fucking ruined. Fucking waste. Absolute fucking waste. Everybody should be ashamed of themselves. Everyone part of who was a part of Man of Steel, creatively, right? Not the actors. The actors just doing what they're being told. But everyone who's part of the creative team of Man of Steel should be fucking ashamed of themselves.
More than just Superman putting an end to an equally strong godlike being, it's him choosing humans over his own people.
No, he's just saving a family. He's just saving a family. He already chose humans over Krypton when he genocided his fucking race, when he destroyed the scout ship, when he actively decided Krypton will not live again because Krypton had its chance, and I will ensure that this race stays dead forever because I'm a terrible, disgusting person.
This is the last remaining member of his alien race, and he...
Yeah. I wonder whose fault that is. I wonder whose fault that is. Yeah. I wonder whose fault that is. I killed Zod. I also destroyed the scout ship. You know, Krypton could have lived again, but I'm going to just genocide everybody because I'm an awful person. Yes, I'm still salty about it. Like... And what sucks is that this is... People think this is a good Superman. I haven't read it. That's not true. I actually have started reading Superman comics, but prior to the Man of Steel video, my exposure to Superman has been through like all of the animated properties and the Donner films and whatnot. And from what I've been told by people who have read the comics multiple times, that these are accurate representations of the character. Because I love Superman. He's my favorite DC hero. He's like my my second or third favorite superhero. I think like he's behind Ghost Rider and Anubis Kruger, right?
Killed him so that humanity could survive. He made a...
Are you gonna bring up the genocide? I'll keep hammering home. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. Are you gonna bring up the genocide that Clark commits? Are ya?
very hard decision. You can see it in the scream and openly sobbing.
Why is he crying over the death of a fucking psychopath but does not hesitate to genocide his entire race? Why does he have an issue with killing to begin with?
New Chef's chicken sandwiches will leave you speechless.
Oh, fuck you.
Sobbing
Ads.
afterwards.
But why? He shouldn't have an issue with killing people. He doesn't care about the collateral damage he's caused. He genocided his entire race. He had to be convinced to save the people of Earth. He doesn't care. He shouldn't, if anything, his most consistent portrayal is that of an unhinged sociopath that revels in the pain of his enemies. Remember when Zod's just kind of flooping out, right? When he's first exposed to Earth's atmosphere, he's like, the pain, it hurts, doesn't it? And he has a little smirk in the tone of his voice where he's just like, oh, so you're enjoying watching him suffer. That's psychotic. And by the way, this is supported later on when he tortures Steppenwolf. I get it, Steppenwolf's evil, but he tortures him. He tortures him. That's psychotic. Because this Superman is a psychopath. Or at the very least, a sociopath. He is a terrible person. And, even going to the Snyder Cut, he doesn't get better. He's still just as terrible. He's still just as much of a freaking terrible person as he was in this movie. So there was no character progression because he was dead for half to three he was dead for half the movie. BVS, at least a theatrical cut, I don't know about the Ultimate Edition, but at least a theatrical cut did jack and fuck with him. He barely had any fucking lines. Why do we think these movies are, why do you think these movies are good? So what you're doing is you're doing the thing where you're explaining the idea and saying the idea is good, but you're not explaining why the execution is good. That's the issue. You need to say, oh, well, this makes sense because of X, Y, and Z. You go, oh, well, it's this, this, and this, and therefore good. It's not how that works. Why do you care? If you hated being the last of your race, then why did you say Krypton had their chance? It doesn't make sense. Excuse me. The scene is not earned. The trolley problem was also retarded. Have it actually be a trolley problem.
Now, I don't fully understand why people don't like this scene.
Okay, whataboutism is a fallacy. Just putting that out there. Also, in the Donner cut, you can actually see the Kryptonians being escorted during the end credits. And if we're going to apply that the Ultimate Edition and Snyder cut are the true versions of those movies, the Donner cut would be the true version of Superman 2, where Zod doesn't die.
Superman 2, he also kills Zod.
No, not in the Donner cut. And if we're going to use the logic of the Snyder cut and the Ultimate Edition are the true versions of those respective movies, the Donner cut would be the true version of Superman 2, where Zod's people are being shipped away. And even if he did kill Zod in this, guess what? That does not, by default, make it good. It would still be dumb. Or maybe not dumb, but that does not mean that fuck, what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say is whataboutism is a fallacy, essentially. It's late. I'm tired, but this video is actually a lot more boring than I thought. I just saw it in my recommendeds. I'm like, oh, this looks like it could be fucking awful. Let's watch it. But also, you're just going over the scene. Is there any greater context here? I haven't seen Superman 2 in a long time. But is there any greater context here? Is there? Is there any greater context? It's still whataboutism. Still a fallacy.
Hell, he does it pretty nonchalantly and cocky in that one. But here...
Why would that even kill him? Why would you even... Never mind.
He begs Zod to stop, and as a last resort...
As a last resort, as in he literally did not try anything else. He didn't try to cover his eyes. He didn't try to push his head off to the side. He did not try to put him in a chokehold, which if you can snap his neck, you can like choke him out. He didn't try and fly upwards. He didn't try and literally leaning to the side, right? It was not a last resort. There were plenty of other options he could have taken. I mean, the family too was really dumb. Honestly, the family deserved to die because they were too. I think they're too stupid to live. I think that's the true hot take of this. That family deserved to die because they were too stupid. We don't need their genes polluting the gene pool. May we become pure, right? We must become pure. No stupidity here. That was a joke, just in case anyone wants to take this out of context. I'm looking at you, Mr. Bohemian faggot, and you know who you are. Not you, Red. Not you. You're a real bohemian, and I love you very much. A little homo.
He kills him, and then he feels remorse afterwards.
Why? He didn't feel remorse fucking destroying the Genesis chamber. He didn't feel any remorse destroying the Genesis chamber. Why should he feel remorse about killing Zod?
Now, Lois Lane in this movie is smart, and I appreciate that.
She's also immensely fucking boring. She's like really boring. She has like what did I say? She has the personality of wet drywall. Like again, like the only reason they have no chemistry together at all. They're really boring. I mean, Jesus, like Superman the animated series had like what 3 seasons to build up to them kissing. Like at the end, like the last episode, that was earned. That was earned. And again, Superman the animated series is pretty damn good from what I remember.
Before, it was just a given that she couldn't figure out who Superman was, but here she figures it out after following leads and doing some research.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, but she's immensely fucking boring.
This is her putting her reporter skills to...
And she like goes where the plot she for some reason they want Lois to go up to the spaceship because without her the movie would end. They want her to go to with the black hole bomb because without her the movie would end? No, because I don't think does she activate the black hole bomb? I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, I think it's the scientist guy that does it. But oh, and she falls faster than light because it's a black hole, and she's not being sucked in. Superman is, but not Lois Lane, for whatever reason. This movie is ass.
Work, showing that she's not only smart but pretty damn good at her job.
Welcome to the planet.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This, like, seriously, this Clark Kent is the Clark Kent that people think that Clark Kent actually is, which is just, oh, he just puts on a pair of glasses when he literally, like, what is it? I think even the glasses change the color of his eyes, I think. But, like, he essentially becomes a different person, right? He's, you know, he changes his posture, the tone of his voice, the way he conducts himself, the way he presents himself, right? It's basically people will see what they want to believe, essentially. It's like that, where he does change quite a bit about how he presents himself, right? It's literally not, I am now wearing glasses. I am now not Superman. I think there's even a comic where, like, Lex Luthor deduces that Superman is Clark Kent, but goes, no, that's impossible because anyone with Superman's powers would not want a secret identity or something like that.
Now, before I wrap this video up, I want to address some of the common criticism that this film receives.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
There's too much destruction / Superman killed more people than he saved. Well,
no, it's not that there's too much destruction. It's that Superman doesn't attempt to save people consistently. He saves, like, the one guy that fell out of the jet. He doesn't try. The issue is he doesn't try.
The reason there's so much destruction is because simply there would be. Yes.
Okay. He does not try to save people. Mention him genociding his race, you coward.
Super strong, godlike beings.
Okay, I'm very tired of that. Let's just go up, actually. Oh, yeah, it does. Let's bump it up a little bit. Okay, yes. Yes, there's going to be. But he does not try to take the fight somewhere else when he's in control. He does not try to lead Zod somewhere else. He stays within the city when he has the upper hand. Like, probably because, like, the final fight, like, the camera work is kind of shit.
Fighting each other. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some destruction. And then
okay, but he doesn't care. The issue isn't okay. So at least my main issue is that it's not that there's lots of destruction. It's that he doesn't care. There's lots of destruction, and he does not try and prevent it. There's, like, no genuine effort of him trying to prevent it and Zod just stopping him, preventing him from doing it, which would essentially just mean, you know, he's on top of me. I can't do this or else I'll die. And if I die, then he'll do this. There's none of that illustrated in the fight. He literally dodges a tanker that's thrown at him and it explodes behind him, causing more damage and potentially killing more people. He does not care that he does not either A, he doesn't care that it would do that, or B, he is so ungodly retarded that he does not know that the thing is going to slide, like, the thing is going to slide into the building and cause more damage. And then he looks at it like, oh god, that exploded? Because I guess he's a dumbass. Like you can write your characters to, like, make legit mistakes and not make them stupid. Or in the case of actually I could call him Cal, like a certain part in the video, because he's so alien from Superman, you know.
Cases like the Smallville fight, there are two Kryptonians fighting.
Okay, so I think, wait, what the hell? I guess I'm gonna have to bump it down in quality again just so I can.
Fighting Superman. They're just as strong, better trained, and he's doing his best to try to manage the situation.
Okay, that's fine, but he does not care. I think that is. I do think that if they made this Superman, like, care and look at the aftermath, and, like, you have that one scene where he looks at all the destruction and, like, he kind of, like, has moments of self-reflection and maybe, you know, says like and maybe says and maybe and like show that he cares about the destruction that's happened, right? Show that he cares. I think that's all a lot of us were really asking for. If you had to do this, show us that he cares about all the destruction he's caused, about a lot of people's livelihoods that are either going to be incredibly damaged by this, the potential loss in life. Because this is his hometown too. Show him that he actually cares, that he failed to protect them. Really set it in, but you don't, because you're for the really dumb, terrible action scene.
Been fighting these two. Now, at the end, most of the destruction is actually caused by the world engine.
Yeah, and whose fault is that? Or, let me rephrase that. Superman could have stopped it fairly easily. Superman should have stopped the one in the middle of Metropolis because the thing in the Indian Ocean was in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. He should have stopped the one in Metropolis. You would have saved so many lives. So Superman's inability to prioritize targets and the military's absolute complete retardation is the reason why all these people are dead. Because everyone in this movie is stupid.
Superman is literally on the other side of the planet. But
yeah, why is he on the other side of the planet? Why wouldn't he go, well, shit, I should probably stop the one in the highly populated area because I'd save more lives that way. Or the military doesn't go, wait, no, shouldn't you take on the one in the highly populated area and we should take the black hole bomb to a place that isn't populated? Wouldn't that make more sense? Wouldn't that genuinely make more sense? Then again, this is a Zack Snyder DCEU movie. Those typically don't make a lot of sense.
By the time he gets to Metropolis, it's destroyed a portion of the city, and the ship he takes down with his heat vision crashes.
Oh, so you do mention that. Okay. Mention the fact that he genocided his race, you coward.
Is near ground zero of the destruction, so it's already.
Mention it. Do it. Fucking do it. Do it. I dare you. Do it. Do it. Do it, pussy. No balls.
Destroyed buildings. So majority of the destruction you see in Metropolis is not Superman's fault.
It kind of is, because he didn't try and stop the giant machine like humping the earth. I don't know. That just seemed like a bigger priority target to stop because it's in a highly populated area. Oh, but he's the only one that can fly to the other side of the area. Well, prioritize. What is more important? The thing that's in the populated area where you have lots of innocent lives, or a thing that's in the middle of the goddamn ocean, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in the Indian Ocean, the definition of bumfuck nowhere. Wait, no, the definition of bumfuck nowhere is Howell, Michigan.
Even when Superman and Zod start fighting each other, it goes to places like space, a bunch of empty buildings outside.
Empty buildings. Empty buildings. That's funny. BVS proves that statement's not true.
A parking garage and a new.
Yeah, the parking garage, which, you know, Superman just dodges the tanker.
Areas that they destroy, it's mainly both of their faults.
Yeah. Oh, it's mainly both of their faults. Yeah, okay. No one is denying that Zod is actively trying to cause destruction. That is fine, because it's Zod and he doesn't care about humanity. But Superman does not give two fucks about all of the destruction that's being caused by his negligence. When he and Lois kiss over the glassed over ashes of people's livelihoods, of people's jobs, probably of actual people, he's not reflecting on all of this, saying my inability and my inexperience caused this. I should have gone for the one in the city. This is my... No, they just kiss over it for reasons. After he genocides his race, I will always bring that up. I don't care if you people are tired of it. That is something that Everyone needs to know. You know, it's weird. I have a mirror in my room, and I have like this boom mic. I look professional. I'm not professional, but I look it.
Now, Superman saves people throughout the whole movie, and
He saves like one person. Are you going to show references?
not to mention by stopping Zod, he saved the whole planet.
Oh, wait, no. He saves the oil rig workers. He saves his classmates. And then after he saves his classmates, John tells him that maybe he should have let the children die. He saves that one military guy. He has to be convinced to save the people of Earth because he doesn't think they can be trusted because he's a sociopath. He genocides his entire race. He does not care of the collateral damage he's causing. He does not contemplate on any of it. And then he has an issue with killing Zod. But he doesn't have an issue. Well, I mean, I guess he doesn't have to directly kill them. He doesn't directly kill. Oh, no, he doesn't directly kill all the Kryptonians, babies in his race. It's just the Genesis Chamber, which he knows for a fact what it can do. Zod makes it abundantly clear that the ship needs to survive. You know, maybe I should have been rooting for Zod in that fight. I don't know. I think he's too stupid to root for.
There are some awkward and bad lines of dialogue.
Yeah, there are lots. You've had a child, Zod. A boy child. Heresy! Destroy it! I will find him! Maybe.
This is barely even criticism, it's just more of a nitpick. Whenever
I guess it's a nitpick.
I hear this, people always point out the same 3 scenes.
You know they say it's all downhill after the first kiss.
Okay, there's so much wrong with that scene. They are kissing over the ashes of people's, of like I said, people's livelihoods, their jobs, and probably literal people.
You're a monster, Zod. And I'm gonna stop you.
I just think he's kind of hot.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, but literally, you're not gonna bring up we've had a child, Zod, a boy child. You're not gonna bring up I will find him.
I don't think these lines are bad or out of place, and the last one is played off as a joke.
Jokes and humor in a Zack Snyder movie is like it's like shooting up heroin, but the heroin is actually drain cleaner. Doesn't work.
I just think he's kind of hot.
Well, he is. And if you really want to get into it, I can simply counter by saying that most comic book movies have some very bad or
Whataboutism is a fallacy, and fallacies are not arguments.
awkward dialogue or straight up cringe lines. I mean, I could think of a few.
Damn.
Okay, so yes, Avengers Endgame is garbage, but like I'll always say this: fallacies aren't arguments. Get on my level, and my level is not very high.
Time travel. I see this as an absolute win.
Okay, I see this as an absolute win. It turns out to be an entertaining meme.
Oh, he's back. That kid on the TV just called me a dickhead again.
Yes, okay. Avengers Endgame is really bad. I agree, it's really bad. I love it, but it's really bad. I agree.
Noob Master.
Yeah, Noob Master 69.
Everybody has to
Yes, Black Panther is garbage, and so is Age of Ultron.
break anything.
Bring up something other than the MCU.
Clearly, you've never made an omelet.
You beat me by 1 second.
That is America's ass.
Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman.
He doesn't just flat out understand Superman. Oh, sorry, he doesn't just not understand Superman. Him and Goyer don't even like Superman, or at least Goyer doesn't.
This is what I see when people say this. There were more people involved than just Snyder. Christopher Nolan and David S. Goyer came up with...
Yeah, Goyer I believe has gone on record saying he just does not like Superman. I think Zack doesn't either. Obviously, yeah, I make this mistake too. I do kind of blame Snyder for a lot of the stuff, but at least in Man of Steel, there were more people involved.
The story. But Snyder is the director, so he takes most of the criticism. But like I said earlier, Snyder had a 5-movie arc planned with...
Okay, having a 5-movie arc does not mean that he understands the character.
Superman, and each film will bring him closer and closer to becoming the Superman that we know him as.
So I have to. So what you're saying is I would have to have suffered through 5 shitty movies to get one of my favorite superheroes, like, to actually be, you know, who he is. 5 awful movies to get what I wanted in Man of Steel. Snyder bots are strange fucking creatures.
Instead of Superman just being this upbeat...
Guns are the building blocks of
Oh no, Superman is like Superman.
7 days with Crest Advanced Arm Restore.
In case nobody told you today, you're special.
Optimistic beacon of hope right off the bat, they instead wanted Superman to grow into that character.
You can still do that, but you don't need to do it in 5 shitty movies. Why not just have the entire movie just be Superman or Clark Kent growing up, going through his struggles, and then by the end, like maybe by like the halfway point is when he finally gets his suit and whatnot, right? The movie's not 2.5 hours long, by the way. This one, it's not 2.5 hours long. No reason for Man of Steel to be 2.5 hours long. No reason at all. Let's just say it's like a 2 hour, just like a straight 2 hours, like an hour 40 or hour 59, something like that. And by the halfway point, you have all of this, right, told in chronological order. Okay, none of this out of order bullshit. Chronological order. He gets his suit, and the rest of the movie is just him saving people, doing small stuff. No world-ending threats, no world-shattering events, maybe some foreshadowing near the end, but it's Superman being Superman. And Superman yeah, I want to see Superman be Superman, okay? Because I love Superman. Right? Because when Christopher Reeves describes Superman is basically a friend, because everyone needs a friend. No, except Amber Heard. You know, she doesn't need a friend.
The religious symbolism. People...
Yeah, because fun fact. Superman's not Jesus. If there's any religious figure that he's more comparable to, it's freaking Moses, because he has Moses' backstory, and he was written by 2 Jewish guys. Or created, I should say.
The religious symbolism is very on the nose and blunt, and it's
Yeah, it's incredibly blunt.
Just to compare Superman to Jesus or a Messiah figure. You see,
because he's not. I'm sorry, like, I'm very, very sick and tired of people portraying Superman as Jesus. You can be a paragon, you can be a symbol of hope without being Jesus. Because Superman is supposed to represent the best of humanity. He's supposed to be human in all the ways, you know, he's supposed to be the representation of all things good, that of all of humanity's good. He's supposed to be human in all the ways that matter the most. He's not supposed to be Jesus, who's more than human.
See, Superman has always been associated with being a god or a godlike being due to his powers and being morally correct. This isn't...
Okay. That doesn't mean that I mean, just again, that does not mean that Zack Snyder did it correctly. Plus, again, I will always maintain making Superman some kind of Jesus Messiah thing, that kind of misses the point of his character, at least from my exposure, at least from my exposure. And I am starting to get more into the comics now, where, yeah, there are some that kind of treat him like a Jesus figure, but he is supposed to be ultimately human, right? That's the appeal. that despite all of this great godlike power, he's still human, basically, right? He's biologically Kryptonian, right? Biologically speaking, yes, he's Kryptonian. But when it comes to where it matters the most, he is 100% human. That is Superman.
Anything new for the character.
Okay, but that doesn't mean Snyder did it right. Snyder did it really shittily. Superman literally T-poses out of the freaking ship.
2 scenes where there is religious symbolism.
Why is he T-posing? It looks so dumb.
When compared to other forms of media with Superman, I think this is far more subtle. Okay, subtle isn't the right word, but the religious symbolism is pretty sparse and used sparingly.
And when it is used, it's fucking retarded.
And of course, I asked you guys, what do you think the best Superman movie is? And basically everyone said Man of Steel. But
incorrect. The best Superman movie is Superman versus the Elite. And I will fight you if you say otherwise.
Many people pay respects to Christopher Reeve, saying for his time, he was good. But
No, Christopher Reeves is the best live-action Superman, because he was actually allowed to play Superman.
People did say that Man of Steel is a great adaptation of the character.
And those people are wrong.
And even Dan Jurgens was impressed and liked his version of Superman.
Okay, then that doesn't matter, because it's not very good. Doesn't matter.
He worked on the Death of Superman storyline and created Doomsday.
That doesn't mean the character is accurate to how he's been. That doesn't mean the character is accurate in terms of being in terms of an adaptation. That doesn't mean the character is accurate.
Superman, Zack Snyder's vision of Superman.
You mean across the couple of movies that he did, I assume? I thought it was very credible. I think Henry Cavill makes an outstanding Superman. I think he could be brighter. That would be my only comment. But if that's part of where the character goes, if that's part of the character arc, I think that's something that can get done.
Okay, that doesn't mean that it's accurate, though. That doesn't mean it's accurate. Literally, just like looking at it objectively, everything that I've seen and others have, that I have seen in terms of the comics and the shows, this is basically Injustice Superman. But it feels like the origin for like an Injustice kind of Superman, but unintentionally, right? This isn't like the origin of an evil Superman where like a lot of these choices would make a lot of sense. It's like an unintentional origin of an evil Superman. It's bizarre.
I'm certainly looking forward to the so-called Snyder Cut and what he...
Oh no. No, I guess even people who've actually worked on the comics can be wrong. Oh no, I'm sorry.
He's going to be doing in the future, because I think what we were seeing is, so in a way, the Marvel movies to me all seem to rely on a formula, right?
Okay, so yes, the MCU is garbage. I generally agree.
And it's a very effective one, and it's one that as a viewer is a lot of fun to watch. And I think what Snyder was trying to do is tell a deeper story.
Okay, and he fucking failed miserably. Him and Goyer, and I think I don't know if Chris Terrio wrote in Man of Steel, but he wrote for BVS, I believe the Snyder Cut as well. But him, Zach, Dave, and Chris are all fucking hacks. Like Zack Snyder's made what, 3 good movies? I think the only movie that I'm aware that Goyer wrote that wasn't bad from what I remember was Blade. Although I did hear that he wrote some absolute garbage on other things. I can't remember what it was though. It wasn't Last of Us 2, was it? I don't think it was Last of Us 2.
Than that. So I'm very interested in seeing,
but it was something really bad.
Seeing what his vision is, because he's more of an auteur at that point.
Auteur and autist. Like seriously, watch the 300 commentary. Like he'll like start a sentence, stop, then start a new thought, then stop before the next one comes out. It's bizarre.
Point, and I want to see what that.
There's nothing wrong with being an autist. I'm an autist myself. Like, unironically, I do have autism, and I know 2 other people that have it as well, and we're normal. Hello, my fellow normies. That is totally poggers.
Vision is for those characters.
Okay, is this just like... Okay.
And how he wants to express his ideas in terms of where he wants to go.
Guys, all in all, I really love this movie.
That's fine. It's fucking garbage, and I can prove it, and I did prove it.
I think it's one of Zack Snyder's best films he's directed.
Incorrect. It's one of his worst.
I think this is the best live-action Superman movie.
Incorrect. Those are the first 2 Donner films.
Henry Cavill is the best Superman.
Incorrect. The best Superman is the best Superman, live action anyways, is Christopher Reeves. The best Superman in general is Tim Daly. I will fight anyone who says otherwise. I will also accept George Newborn. I will also accept him. He is very good as well. Tim Daly is the best Superman overall. Fight me on it.
And I can't wait to see more of this Superman in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So,
oh, I'm so sorry. Your standards are so low that they literally they have such a massive gravitational pull that they just go so low, and it breaks through all of reality and creates a universe destroying black hole because the gravity is just that dense, right? I'm sorry, your standards are just that low.
Go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of Man of Steel. Let me know what
Man of Steel is the worst Superman movie. The worst. Live action, anyways. There might be a worse animated one out there, right? There might be a worse one. Superman vs. the Elite is the best Superman movie. All-Star Superman is also very good. The best live action Superman movie, I guess, would be Superman 2. Right, Superman 2, I guess, 1 or 2. You could just, I don't know, maybe interchange them or just put them together. Man of Steel is the worst Superman movie. That is an that's not just an opinion. It is an opinion, but it's an opinion supported by facts and evidence. Right? Because contrary to what some people think, an opinion is not entirely subjective. An opinion can be objectively verified. For example, it is the prevailing opinion among paleontologists that the dinosaurs went extinct. The non-avian dinosaurs. That is actually important because birds are dinosaurs. But the non-avian dinosaurs went extinct about, 66 million, 30,000 years ago, I think is like the most accurate date we've gotten, right? That is the prevailing opinion because all evidence suggests that. However, that opinion can be proven wrong if we find like the pelvis or the skeleton of an ornithopod in the Pleistocene for some reason. Oh, the non-avian dinosaurs did go extinct at the end of the Mesozoic. Holy crap, that changes a whole lot. We were wrong. An opinion can be wrong because an opinion can be formed with little or with no information whatsoever. The same way an opinion can be correct if it's backed up by facts and evidence. And Man of Steel is objectively and provably shit. And I think I did that decently. But that's all we have for today. Actually, you know what? That's not all we have for today. I'm going to show you this. This is my Volume 8 script. We're going from Man of Steel, which is shit, to Ruby, which is shit. No. Oh, we go to Tools. Word count. So far, I have 4,162 words. I don't think I have my Man of Steel script. I don't think I have my Man of Steel script anymore. I think I deleted it. Did I delete it? Make untold notes. Yeah. I deleted it because it would be one of the most recent things. But I did delete it, and I think it was like 7,000 words or something like that. And this is about 4,000, and I'm only on. Where is it? Where are you? Oh wait, shit! I don't think I. Yeah, here's episode 11. Oh, I don't think I did the divider. I don't think I did the divider thing. Okay. But yeah, it's just, this is like, I'm on episode 12 right now. See? Episode 12. Right here. You're goddamn right, I'm pirating it. Fuck your goddamn AdSense, Rooster Teeth. You don't deserve my money. The only channel that gets my view count is Death Battle. But I am tired, and this was actually kind of fun, and I do want to do maybe another one of these sometime. But I shall talk to you all later. Good night. Have a good day, and always remember, Superman is a better character than Goku. Fight me.